What the fuck is going on, everyone? I'm Val.
And I'm Kayla.
And I'm also Kayla.
And this is 20 What Podcast.
We are here today in the new studio, week 2, episode 2, and we have a special guest today.
You didn't. That wasn't a glitch. There really are 2 Kaylas in the room.
Beep, boop, bop.
What?
Yeah, so we have Kayla here. Kayla.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Kayla. I use she, her pronouns. I am back in Boston for the first time since COVID hit the fan, and I'm thrilled.
Yes, we're thrilled to have you here. Me and Val have been internet friends with Kayla for so long. It feels like we already knew her, but we didn't.
Wow.
You did think I was 5'5".
I did. I honestly, she walked through the door and I was like, oh.
She's so tall. And I'm like,
I did not expect you to be this tall.
Because I ate my veggies.
You did.
For the audio listeners, I'm wearing a shirt that says "Eat your veggies."
Yes. Oh, yes. For the audio listeners. We love that. But we're so excited to have you here. We're going to have a fun episode to kind of kick off our holiday season.
Yeah.
Holiday season.
So our whole season is kind of based around the holidays. Not so much just the actual holidays themselves, but the little things that they bring, uncomfortable situations with family, or how to deal with if you have social anxiety, or any sort of things during those times.
Some winter dates, some fun
winter
ideas.
Dates, just little things. But obviously in popular Western media, Christmas is mainly dominant. And not gonna lie, I don't know much about Hanukkah or many other holidays, because I was just grew up celebrating Christmas and all of the things, and we'd learn about it in school for 2 days, and then they'd be like, all right, back to Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to have Kayla on to just open our eyes and open your eyes and your ears, and use our platform for something other than ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Aww.
yeah.
I should also mention, I am Jewish.
Yeah,
Yes.
So that's the dot you should have made to connect the line.
That probably was part of the introduction, but I think it feels relevant now. If you hadn't guessed, I'm the Jewish Kayla. You can tell. You can just really tell in my voice.
Yeah. There's the differentiation.
Yeah, so we just have some questions, and we just want to learn more about Hanukkah or any other holidays that you celebrate, any traditions that you have with your family, just to,
Whenever I interview someone, I feel like I am trying to be a mix of what I imagine I would be if I was on Good Morning America, and then I realized I'd never be on Good Morning America.
Why not?
I don't think
maybe then I'd watch.
Me. Yeah?
You can, I'd watch on TikTok. Why wouldn't I watch you on Good Morning America?
Good Morning America, if you're watching this.
Listening.
There you go. If
watching,
you're listening,
reading,
watching, whatever you're doing.
Sensing it.
Have us on Good Morning America.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll go back to the business at the end, because we just kind of dove into the holidays. But growing up, do you know what I mean by they celebrated other holidays for 2 days, or did you have a different experience from that? What was your experience growing up during the holidays in school?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot. I definitely did sense that. I don't even think they would even get 2 days. And I really feel like it was just Christmas and Hanukkah, and then a little bit of Kwanzaa dipped in. But yeah, I definitely noticed that. I went to public school in Southern California, where there are a decent amount of Jews, and also not a lot of education in schools. It's not you get to take off the holidays, you still have to take off school and skip and all that stuff. So I definitely noticed that a lot, but it was fun when one time my parents did come to my class and make latkes for everybody.
Oh,
yummy.
So we at least did that, but it definitely wasn't education. It was more here, you can color this Hanukkah picture instead of the Santa Claus picture, or the winter snowman instead of the stocking, that type of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because I know just from my school experience, we did learn about Hanukkah, but it wasn't as much as Christmas and, the other holidays like that. And, they would show us the dreidels and, the menorah, but they wouldn't really go too much into detail about it, and they spent a lot of time focusing on Christmas.
But here's the thing, too. So those holidays aren't necessarily always around the same time as Christmas. So to even put them together, though, is kind of it's very the Christmas dominating, Christmas normative.
Yeah, yeah.
A Christmas normative culture is the fact that you try to put Hanukkah with it, when this year it's in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to teach it near that. And also Hanukkah is never religiously a really big holiday.
Okay.
It's one of our more minor holidays. It just got picked up because of capitalism and wanting to have the comparability to like Christmas. So it's actually Hanukkah and like the celebration is a lot of assimilation. It's still really fun. It's like a lot of significance. The stories around it are really entertaining. Like I love the Rugrats, the Maccabees episode. Like that one was, you know, I love the culture for that. But like it is, it's not as big of a deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite holiday?
Yeah.
Probably Purim, which is like Halloween, but in the spring.
Oh.
And you get to listen to the story read out. And then every time, it's honestly one of the sassiest Jewish holidays because you tell the story about how a princess one time like foiled the evil henchman of the king who was trying to kill all the Jews. And you know, other than that, it's a fairy tale, almost. And she foils his plan. And now we every year read the story. And every time they say his name, the evil henchman, you like make noise and boo. And, like, you eat cookies in the shape of his hat to, like, make fun of him because he wore a stupid hat. It is the sassiest Jewish. I love it. The stories in there, like...
I didn't even know that was
Santa Claus could never. I'm sorry.
No. Santa Claus could never.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's actually so interesting.
It's really fun.
And you said that's in the spring?
It's in the spring. So we follow the lunar calendar, so it's not, like, always lined up, so I can't tell you what day it's going to be. And I'm always surprised when it's going to happen. It's on my planner, it's on my phone, but I'm always like, oh my god.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay.
Yeah. But that one, it's in the spring. So I love that.
I didn't even know that the calendar was different.
Yeah.
Wait, can you tell us a little bit more? Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, we know that the year is a sobriety test. What year is it?
2021.
There you go.
She took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. You were going to say it. But that's like not everybody's calendar. That's like a very Christian calendar because it's literally like they say common era now, but they mean after death. But like our calendar is different. Okay. So I'm gonna do something that's not so great for the visual or the audio listeners. You can see on my phone I have a different date. So it says the 20th of Cheshvan 5782. So like the Jewish, like our calendar, the year is not 2021. It's 5782. Oh. So like the Gregorian calendar is what we're on, that we like forced through imperialism on the entire world.
Yo.
Well, not we, but sorry, you did that.
This is so cool.
I mean, yeah. I'm an agnostic now. That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, not you, but
no, I understand.
Yeah, we say 5782.
I've already learned so much.
Yeah, literally in like 5 minutes.
My Hebrew school and my 2 years of Jewish private high school would be so proud of me right now. I'm like really pulling it all out. You have like all of my 8 years of Tuesdays and Sundays after school and on the weekends.
Well, they paid off because you have our attention.
Yeah, sure. I honestly didn't know there was another calendar. I didn't, and I feel stupid for not knowing, but that is so cool.
I think they also didn't ever think that like people didn't know that. I didn't know that was not normal to always go home and be like, yeah, you learned this in school, but like here's the other side of things.
So I guess that just shows like the difference in education, you know, like if you want to learn more about these Jewish holidays, like you can send your kids to schooling specifically for that. Like you had to go after school. Same for me. Yeah. I had to go to CCD because my family is Christian. Oh. It's Christian. It's like Sunday school.
It's like, yeah.
So I had to go every Sunday and they teach us about, I hated it, but like that's another story.
I think like like if you grow up and you don't hate Sunday school, like who are I want to meet you?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be friends with you, but I do want to meet you.
Some kids really liked it, and I'm like, that's good for you.
Oh, see,
I didn't like it.
I got made fun of a lot.
I did too. I literally got bullied in CCD.
Stop bullying Kayla's.
Yeah,
I'm sure your listeners are doing that.
I'm not gonna say your name. You probably don't even watch this, so never mind.
I had a couple of them like follow me on Instagram, like after making fun of me for like what I ate. Then they would come onto my Instagram and be like, oh my god, I'm vegan now or vegetarian, like just like I have a question about this, and I'm like, I'm gonna help you, but it's because I'm really picky and I feel like I need to have the vegan opinion on everything, and not because I like you as a person or forgiven for what you did to me in 7th grade.
Yeah. Oh, I have a couple people like that. I'm just like,
Oh, and the mean girls have been coming into my bar a lot.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, what happened to you the other day?
Oh, I had some really mean girls the other day, but we don't have to get into that. They called me a bitch and all this stuff, and I was like, I can hear you.
That's not very nice.
I cut her off because her eyes were closed while she was ordering shots, and I was like,
that's caring for your safety. You can't get mad at bartenders
for doing their job.
Like I said, I'm coming on to this to be the Jewish woman giving advice. And I'm just like, stop, listeners, please. Stop getting mad at your bartenders for cutting you off. They are doing you a service.
You heard it here.
It's my job. Like, I could lose my job if you get in a car and you kill someone. That family of the person that you killed can sue me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And specifically, like, the
And
bartender.
also, people would die.
Exactly.
Yeah. So stop doing that. But
But it's
anyway,
mostly about what you would do to me. I'm just kidding.
back to the scheduled program.
What's your favorite traditional food?
Okay, wait, I made a list.
Oh, good. I'm so excited for this part.
Okay,
all
so
different
it was a hard question for me because, well, any food question for me is a hard question, which made grad school really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I wrote down a list, but then I was like remembering a couple of papers I wrote in undergrad about like what is Jewish food and like how difficult that question is. But then I skipped and I was like, they're just gonna want a list of foods.
Yeah.
So you can go into literally any of it.
So our food is like really diverse based on like where we've lived. But then there are like religious, custom, traditional foods, but they all have different takes based on like where people lived and moved out of. And then when you came to America and like a bunch of these came together, it gets really weird. So like even in the Jewish community, there's a lot of like what's called Ashkenormativity, which is that like we assume the Jews that you see played on TV are usually like Ashkenazi Jews.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of like Ashkenazi washing of stuff, so that you really only think of the Jewish foods that you probably think of as Jewish foods, like are very Ashkenazi, which is the Jews that were in like Eastern and Western Europe.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like, anyways. Getting back to the list, what you asked, the actual question
It's okay, we're like...
that you asked me.
We love it.
There's like a lot when you ask somebody who's studied food and like works in food, and once you ask them a question about food, I mean, I feel like you invited that,
it's honestly, I think that's one of the most fascinating things about you is like your passion for food and the way that you're so passionate about it, and I love it. And just like I edit Kayla's podcast, and I get to listen to her all the time, and it's really nice because she knows what she's talking about, and she's very credible, and she's very smart. She's like, "Can you tell me more?" But no, I like when you talk about food.
That is the nicest way that anybody has ever called me a geek in my entire life. No, that was wow. You really disarmed me there.
Gotcha.
You literally wined and dined me, and then you're going to compliment me, and
like,
wow.
What can I say?
This is a good time. Okay. My list.
Okay, go to the list.
Challah. And if you don't know what it is, I'm happy to explain it.
It's bread.
It is. It's like traditionally egg bread. It's braided.
I've seen you make it on your story millions of times, and it looks divine.
Yeah.
Absolutely divine.
The braiding.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Blintzes.
Okay.
This one? Okay, so it's like a crepe that's usually stuffed with like a really creamy cheese, and you serve it with like sour cream and applesauce and jam.
And I'm assuming you make this vegan, obviously.
It's so much work. And like
it is.
Probably
probably really expensive too.
It's a lot, yeah. So like I think I haven't tried for a couple of years. I've never even had one, so it's been a long time. It's probably been like 10 years since I've had a blintz.
Maybe it's time to.
Yeah, I should probably pull like
that sounds delicious.
I do. You can hear the love in my like.
I would love to
blintzes.
watch you make that on like a TikTok or something.
Yeah. If I can figure it out, it's gonna take me 6 hours, and it will look not like 15 seconds worth of effort, but I hope to make it look that easy. Yeah. Anyways, they are amazing, and they remind me of like going to we had like one Jewish deli nearby, and sometimes we would go there when we were sick from school, or like quote sick from school, and my mom would like let us get stuff, and I would always get blintzes.
Yeah. Nice. Oh.
Okay, and black and white cookies.
Okay.
Love those. Bagels and schmear, delicious, but like good schmear. And I rant about this on my Instagram sometimes, so sorry to pull in other content, but stop putting hummus on your bagels.
I don't do that. I could agree. I've never done it.
I think I've had it like twice.
It's less about people putting it on, more about bagel places putting it on a menu, insinuating that anybody like is going to choose that over any type of vegan cream cheese.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
hummus is it's just too much together.
Yeah, it's wet and dry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you.
What constitutes a good schmear?
Thick. I mean,
with 2 C's?
When isn't thick better?
True. I can cheers to that.
Matzo ball soup. Classic.
Yep.
Do you know what a kugel is?
No.
Ooh.
A kugel. It's a sweet noodle dish. Sometimes it's savory. Sometimes it's also made with potatoes. It's hard to find egg noodles that are vegan.
Yeah.
But they're out there now. But
really?
kugel. Kugels are like a holiday food.
Okay.
So definitely recommend. Some sweets. Rugelach, babka. Love that. Do you know what rugelach is?
No.
Okay, so it's like this is going to be hard. How do I explain rugelach? It's like a pastry that's got usually a jam or a fruit thing rolled inside of it, and it's just wrapped in a certain shape.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. I love pastries.
Yeah, they're really good. Babka is like a braided chocolate bread.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
I've seen that.
It's gorgeous. When they make it on Great British Bake Off.
I love that show.
They've made
so
babka
much.
on there.
Really?
Yes.
I love that show.
God.
Yeah. It's the best. Hummus and pita. We already talked about hummus enough. Brisket is like, yeah. So it's like, I don't know if that's a Jewish food or it's just like my family always. I think it's a pretty Jewish food.
Okay.
Yeah, I use Gardein beef tips.
Okay.
Not that they're not sponsoring you, so you can bleep out the name if you
No, that's all right.
about that. That's the plug for Gardein. You're welcome.
Want to sponsor us, Gardein? We'll get some stuff.
Yeah, the beef tips are really good.
The beef tips are pretty
How
good.
do you make them so that they like simulate that?
I cook it like a brisket. Like I follow a brisket recipe kind of and just try to do it like that.
Okay.
There's
So,
some
like, in a
vegan
slow
ones out
cooker?
there. Yeah.
Huh.
Use my Instant Pot as a slow
Does
cooker.
it like pull apart?
No.
Oh.
But like if you cook it, it gets really tender. I've tried the jackfruit ones. I've tried making like seitan type brisket, and it just like the beef tips are already kind of beefy. That the carrots and the cooked veggies and the sauce around it is like enough for me.
What's your favorite form of like not faux meat, but like between like seitan, tofu, tempeh?
Oh, all the proteins.
Yeah,
all the,
between all of those, what would be your fave?
I
And
love
least fave.
tofu.
Okay.
I love tofu.
It's so versatile.
Yeah.
It really is. You can't go wrong.
Scramble, sauce.
I
Tenders.
love a tofu scramble.
Yeah,
She
smoothie.
loves them.
I make a really good tofu scramble.
I do too.
She actually
It's tofu scrambled to death right now.
When we were in college, I decided to go vegan. Like I was vegetarian at the time, and then Val made me this tofu scramble and just like showed me. I don't know. It was a tofu scramble that I was like, I'm doing vegan now. I'm doing it.
A tofu scramble that will literally change your life.
Yeah, so that she's pretty good at it.
But,
Okay.
like,
I won't. That sounds like you. I'm gonna give you the
That's
crown
like I
back
can
to
make
you.
literally like 4 dishes. So I
mean,
can't cook
if you
for
can
shit.
do it that well.
I can make like
You
tofu
changed my life.
scramble.
I don't think
can
I've
make
converted.
pasta.
I don't think I've converted anybody on one meal. So that's. I mean,
Yeah.
Tofu scramble.
I mean, I was already vegetarian, so I was
Yeah.
like halfway there. So, but that just kind of just...
Or pumpkin, like if you use the Follow Your Heart vegan smoked Gouda, pumpkin mac and cheese.
Oh yeah,
So good.
yeah. Their smoked Gouda is amazing.
Yeah, and I usually like sometimes smoked Gouda, like that flavor used to make me a little nauseous. I don't know what about it, just like
But
something
now
a little funky. But now we Gucci.
We Gucci.
We Gucci
have I
gang.
ever even had the smoked Gouda? I probably have.
I don't know.
I just didn't know I had it. It's probably good.
How would you say your veganism and like religion intertwine, if they do it all?
They do a lot, which I talk about on my mostly on my Instagram and stuff. I'll talk about this often, or like I write captions about it, because they do for me a lot. They intersect a lot.
Yeah.
I like really credit being raised Jewish and kosher observant to like my consciousness around food. Some of that is a little bit too much hyper awareness, but a lot of it was just about the consciousness and like putting a link like to what you're eating, and it becomes something that you don't do as thoughtlessly. So I think that was a really big thing for me, because I always grew up like having to discern between what I could eat, what I couldn't eat. And it's not really about what you can or can't eat, but what you will or won't eat. Right?
Exactly.
And like where it comes from, and like what's in it, and who made it, and how did they make it, and like is it safe to eat, and all that stuff. And then when they explained like animals to me a little bit, my dad explained in like, I think it was in 4th grade or 5th grade, and he was like, I'm gonna actually go a little bit more kosher observant than the rest of the family. And so like my mom, my brother were kosher one way, like with me, and then my dad was like, I want to do a deeper level of observance. I don't know, a spiritual week. I'd never asked him why. I probably should. It was a pivotal moment in my life. He explained to me that like you don't bathe a calf in its mother's milk. Like that's what the Torah says.
Okay.
And so you don't eat meat and milk together.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of other rules in that, but like that was what he told me as like a 4th grader, and it's something I still remember as a not 4th grader. And like I think that was a really big moment of heightened consciousness. And then my rabbi in like 8th grade in Hebrew school tried to teach us about the importance of kosher meat by showing us Food Inc. documentary.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not gonna eat any meat because this is terrifying.
Yeah.
It feels like, I felt like that was just like a big nope for me. So I went vegetarian in like 8th grade.
Okay.
Because I was like, no, yeah. So I think that largely like led to my veganism, and like even to this day, I think it really is about that like that intersectionality between my Judaism and my veganism. that like makes me strong in my identity and my morals.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love that.
And my great taste in food.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
As the very long list of food items you asked me.
Oh, those, my mouth was like salivating as you were speaking. I was like, I need all of these. But I love that for you, and I love that it opened your eyes to this whole new world of veganism for you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just like, I don't know, just, I'm speaking from someone who's also vegan, like it's grown me as a person. It's made me more aware of just like, you know, what you're putting in your body and like where it comes from and everything. So I can relate with you on that for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I just appreciate any person who's unapologetically themselves, and you're definitely one of those people. I am definitely one of those people, Kayla
Wow.
is, so I feel you, and I appreciate that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good for my self-esteem today.
We got you.
We
We
love
got
that.
you.
This is nice.
Kayla, do you want to ask a question?
Um,
Or I can keep being Barbara
yeah, I
Streisand.
think you're good at it. You want to be on
wait,
Good Morning
who's
America.
the person? Not Barbara Streisand.
Katie Couric.
Yeah, sure, that's who I am.
Yeah.
You just saw one Jewish icon and had to name another Jewish icon. I get it. As long as it wasn't the nose.
There is a Barbara on the Today Show.
Is there?
What's her name?
Barbara.
Is it Corcoran?
I'm
No.
gonna
Barbara
be-
Corcoran?
I've never watched a Today Show in my life.
There is a Barbara.
I watched Ellen DeGeneres.
I know it's not Streisand. Okay, anyway.
Although,
Going back.
if Barbara Streisand hosted a morning news show,
I would watch
it. I'm just saying.
Barbara Streisand.
We have a lot of tips for a show we've never watched.
Yeah, we do.
What are some anti-Semitic issues within the media that you wish got more attention?
That
Does
is,
that question
yeah.
make sense?
No, it does make a lot of sense. It's just a big question. And I wish the education was pushed with it. I think that's largely the problem. I think we're seeing that a lot today in the news too. It's that like the lack of education is where all this shit gets to grow. And so I think first and foremost, I wish people like would talk about what anti-Semitism looks like and like how it plays in with the different kinds of bigotry that are out there, and not just like, oh, this is anti-Semitic or like this is anti-Semitic and having to have an example, because I think people get way too bogged down in like those like really segmented issues and like one-offs, and it's usually after mass violence or trauma that's been shared publicly, and like that education should be happening even when there's not death,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So like I think that's a really hard thing, is like how do you teach that in the wake of like collective grief and trauma and despair? Like it's crazy.
I feel like that's like a lot of other things like that happen too. Like people only, I say this loosely, like people only care about it when something's actively happening with
Right.
it, and then once like that happens and it's said and done, people kind of forget about it. But you can't forget about it. You have to keep fighting for it, and I think that's a lot what's wrong with a lot of the world just in general.
Yeah, I mean, them trying to ban CRT, the critical race theory, is like essentially that's a part of that is also Jewish education, the different acceptance and things in that, and also just that those ideas in general are really important to like root this care and collective activism and stuff, not just in those traumas and isolated incidents, but like teaching people how to like think about the world and the systems accurately.
Yeah.
Not just from their own perspective, because like you are just a better person when you have that context.
I think
Exactly.
They just want the system to be like so like I don't even know what the word America-centric would mean, because like what the fuck is even that? Because America was built as a melting pot. But do you know what I mean?
I have a lot of red, white, and blue images that are coming to mind.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
you know
know
exactly
what I
what I
mean.
mean.
I know
Like, the
exactly what you
America
mean.
core, like, they just want it,
The
like,
America core.
they don't want you to know that there is so much more than you. You know what I mean?
That's why I never understand conspiracy theorists, because the real world is so fucked. You don't need to you don't even need to make this shit up. Like, you don't need to believe the FBI, but not about the stuff that you're being crazy about. Like, let's not focus on the moon landing and think about, like, you know, what the CIA did in the last century.
Exactly. The moon landing should be the least of
Like,
your worries.
Listen, whether they did or not, you're not going to ever prove it in your lifetime. Like, it's just like a God thing.
Yeah.
Leave it up to whatever you believe.
Like, who cares?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
But, like,
no
can
harm.
you pay attention to the real harm that's being perpetuated by these groups?
Yep. Exactly.
And you can't do that when those groups are the dominant.
Yeah.
Not the majority, but the dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a very good... I
That
like
actually is
saying.
a really good point.
You said that you had things that your did you already talk about the things that your parents gave you?
Oh, I did not.
Oh,
No.
do you want to talk about anything?
Yeah. So you did ask me, I tried to do a little bit of prep work, come prepared. And you did ask me a little bit about how, like, the traditions played up growing up in the holidays and, like, what the holidays looked to my family. which was like a really good mental exercise to get me into it. And then I had a really hard time answering it because my first thoughts like were not the holidays, like capital TH, because it's like, again, Hanukkah was never big for me growing up. So like the holidays for me, I thought of immediately Shabbat, which is every week. It's the Sabbath, but it's like Friday night and to Saturday night. Because because of the lunar calendar, it starts at midnight or not midnight, it's sunset when the moon rises, essentially, is the start of the holiday. So it goes Friday night to Saturday night, so we have a holiday every week.
Oh,
I love that.
We treat it as a holiday every week. Yeah. So we always had to do Shabbat dinners together, and we were like very conservative family, but not like super religious. So we were allowed to like do things and watch the TV or like, you know, do things after Friday night dinner, but like you had to be in the house for Friday night dinner, and we always lit Shabbat candles, which was traditional. But I didn't know that after lighting the candles that in my family, you light the candles, you say the blessing, you give hugs. Okay. And I didn't realize until I got older that the hugs part was like not part of the ritual, and that was just like a family thing. Because then I went to like, I moved in with my partner, and we like would sometimes light Shabbat candles together, and every time after we say the blessing, I always go to hug him, and he's always like passing, like not, you know, knocking off the hug, but like not going in for it. And I was always confused. I was like, why don't you ever hug me after the candles? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, I am having a realization right now that my parents led me to believe that this was normal, and it is not. So,
you know, but I mean, it is normal though even with Christmas or any other holiday too, like there's a general holiday around it, but then like families have their own special traditions to make it special and unique to them. So like, yeah, it is normal for you. Like that's so funny though. So like, embarrassing. I mean, who would turn down a hug though?
No,
like,
I'm not usually a big hugger either, but I'm used. No, I don't.
I'm not either.
I'm not
either, really.
I'm not a contact person. I just, you know, you need to ask for consent even for hugs, which you did today when I came in.
No, I always do because I don't like hugs really either, but I just wanted to.
Yeah, which is cool because like again, it's a spectrum of liking hugging.
Yeah,
we don't have to be a hugger or non-hugger binary.
Yeah,
not in this house.
Exactly.
Hug when you want.
Yeah, so that was one, is always hugging after we light the candles. And then also at Shabbat dinner, my parents would usually ask us what our favorite part of the week is, which was like a really cool way to kind of end the week because that is our end of the week.
Yeah.
So it was always like pretty reflective, and I even do that now sometimes. I think it's a great dinner party question.
Yeah. I love doing, and I call it a happy crappy.
Yeah.
Happy crappy,
there you go.
Yeah, I hearing all this seems like it's just like, it's really like family oriented and family centered, and I love that. Like I love that you were able to have these memories and stuff, because I know like my family growing up we didn't have too many traditions. Like we weren't as close like that. Like I have a good relationship with my family, but like I don't have like cool fun memories that we do like that. So I think that's really cool. Yeah, I love that.
Thanks.
When I was a kid, my dad and my sister, they're really religious, and my parents are divorced, so every Sunday we would like
mine too.
Yeah, we would go to church. Who's aren't Kayla's loser. So they would drag me to church, but I was a brat, and like I've just always been like an agnostic person. Like I'm like, anyone is free to believe what they want to believe, but like don't tell me what to do.
I love that.
Don't like when anyone tells me what to do.
There are agnostic Jews, just so you know.
Love that.
Yeah. My grandpa's an atheist.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just acknowledge it, but we would get to the parking lot, and I would literally like be like, Dad, I'm sitting in the car. And I would not go into church. I was a brat. Yeah.
You did say you were unapologetically you, so
yeah, no.
I don't think that's a brat. I think you were just...
I was just standing my ground. I was like, you can't make me do this.
I'm not your parent, but, you know, they probably hated you.
Don't get me wrong, my dad and I have a good relationship now, but he definitely probably hated me up until I was, like, 17.
Yeah, my dad's kind of the same way. He was, like, he really wanted me to, like the religion, and, like, he goes to church every Sunday and stuff, but every Sunday when it came to CCD, I remember I used to hide, like, in the house, and they'd be like, Kayla, where are you? We have to go. And I'm like, I'm not coming out. Like,
did they have snacks?
CCD? Yeah, but they weren't the
donuts.
good ones.
So you gotta have good snack. We had cosmic brownies.
Oh, yeah, no.
You gotta have kosher snacks.
Yeah.
And like Krispy Kreme.
No,
you gotta have better snacks.
We did not have good snacks. No, we did not.
Yeah, if they had better snacks, I would have been fine.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Like, it's like getting college freshmen to do anything. You have to give them pizza. Like, you have to have better food.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have changed my experience if they had better food.
That's a really good point. My mom made me
I mean, that feels a little bit culty to be like, bribe them.
Well, just do it, honestly. Children are easily bribed.
Exactly.
Especially the kind of child I was. Give me a gift and I'll do whatever
Listen,
you
I will
say.
still do things for delicious free food.
I'm not going to pretend like I wouldn't very easily get sucked into a cult.
Right?
I would. I would be the first to go.
I think we've all had this past year of being like, would you survive the zombie apocalypse? And like, we're all figuring out now that like, we're not all going to be on Walking Dead. Like, not that I ever had the confidence that I would, but I think it's a humbling experience that we should all go through.
Right now I'm hobbling. I'm the first to go. I can't even walk. So
I said that.
And you're in a cult, so they probably wouldn't let you leave.
Yep, nope.
You're probably causing the zombie apocalypse with your cult.
But that's what I wanted. I wanted to be the first to go. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it either.
Seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot of anxiety. I'd just rather go.
I'm not that committed to this earthly realm.
Nope.
So.
I know. Let's go somewhere else.
It does have good food, though.
Yeah,
to segue us
we
back.
don't know, though.
That's true. How do I know? Wow.
What if the food in the afterlife is, like, crazy? This is a really random question, but do you have a junk drawer in your house?
I do.
Yeah.
But I think there's a couple of them, so I like that there's a singular there. I think my whole house is just a junk drawer because I just am always moving.
Heard. Understood. None of my drawers are really organized. I was just curious. Do you have a car?
I do.
Do you have what's in, like, anything, like, crazy in the trunk?
Any dead bodies.
No, but like, what's like a weird thing that's specific to you?
Probably a lot of stuff from high school because I still find it randomly under my seats.
Interesting.
I've had the car since I was 16.
Okay, that's kind of fun. Like a time capsule.
You know, since I started sharing it a little bit more with my partner, I drive each other's cars. Mostly he drives mine. The car is a lot cleaner. I'm not gonna say I'm the one that keeps it clean.
Oh.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter who cleans it.
But it's a lot cleaner.
Okay.
So there's less stuff rolling around in the trunk. But when it's just my car, it is a crapshoot. Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
No, that's fair.
And I know it's probably an umbrella. This is gonna be a very hard question, kind of like the food one.
Hit me.
Do you have a favorite animal?
For what?
Just like, do you want a category?
Yeah, like a favorite animal, like in general. I have hard times with like.
Okay, so
you want an umbrella.
Okay, so
like,
I'll give you a few categories.
Like, do I want to be that animal? Yeah, give me a few categories.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Farm animal.
Again, am I like gonna be the animal?
No,
or is it just,
no,
like,
just
okay, my favorite
favorite
farm animal.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I love cows.
Me too.
Yeah,
they're my favorite.
The big grass puppers.
of all animals, I agree.
They're
just, big dogs. They're big dogs.
They're
big milk puppies.
They're just
I love them.
They're really cool.
I want a pet cow so bad.
Well, that sounds like a lot.
A lot of work. Yeah, honestly though,
but if you were into it and like
if I had some space
and you wanted to
no, I was just gonna say all I want in life is to be able to quit my job, move in the mountains with like the love of my life, and like have like a bunch of land and a cow.
I mean,
is that too much to ask?
No. I would like a similar situation a couple doors over.
Yeah, there you
By doors, I mean miles.
Yes, please. You can have our acres and then
distance.
Go see each other on daily
that's so
scrolls.
I do like cows, but I'd say my favorite farm animal is a chicken.
Wow.
Fun fact, in the second grade, I wrote a 2-page paper just on chickens.
Wow.
And my teacher didn't think I was going to be able to write 2 whole pages on chickens alone, but I dove myself into this.
Teacher sounds like a very limiting...
Yeah. No, I dove into this, and then I went to my art teacher, and I said, can you help me draw a chicken? And she goes, bitch, I got you. So she, like, showed me this method on how to draw a chicken. I still draw the chicken this way, like, to this day.
You just put up your hand? Like,
do you do the hand one?
Oh, no. That's gotta be better than that.
Oh my god, I need a pen and a paper.
Is that a turkey?
Oh, I do that for a turkey, but I feel like the art teacher's not going to whip that out and be like, here's the method. Yeah, so I do, in my own mind, I haven't left that conversation yet.
Okay.
It's the benefit of ADHD. I'm fully in this conversation. Only when I want to, apparently I've now pinned at this other one and my mind didn't lose it. Which is like, we talked about having your own traditions as like, you know, when you're younger or whatever. And I think the super cool thing is asking people like, what you do now.
Okay.
So I don't know, because like in college I couldn't go back every holiday.
Yeah.
So all the holidays that I'd gotten used to growing up with, like, yeah, I just didn't go back for it because you don't get school off ever. Well, I mean, I think some people do, but I didn't. And there's too many holidays to go from halfway across the country back home.
Yeah.
And also my parents got divorced the summer in between high school and college for me. So I like didn't go home for the holidays like I had used, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have or wouldn't have. Anyways, there's a lot. But so my friends and I, who were Jewish on like college campuses who didn't like love the organizations necessarily that were around would sometimes just like do our own holidays and like cook together.
Nice.
And so we all brought them together.
Okay.
And so like my memories of like celebrating in college are like a mishmash of like my friends.
Yeah.
So we had like the same little group that would do like
your unique ways of doing it.
Yeah.
That's
so
so
special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'm sure people do it with, you know, with Christmas stuff too. And
Yeah.
like there's so many other holidays
'cause
I don't even know about, but I'm starting to learn more from like my friends.
People,
Yeah.
it's true. People have like their different like unique ways of celebrating things, and that's
As
so
an
cool
adult.
that you got to experience yours with other people, and then other people's with you. Like that's so special.
It's super fun.
Yeah, I usually I haven't really missed a holiday with my family, so I haven't really gotten the chance to celebrate with other people. But now I'm thinking like I gotta start celebrating holidays with different people.
Yeah.
I gotta start experiencing other people's holidays. I love that.
My
That's pretty
family
cool.
plays poker on Christmas.
Nice.
Poker, I love that.
Yeah, that's like our big thing. We play poker and Family Feud, and we eat. My family's Italian, so we eat fish. Like we have a pasta appetizer, and then there's like, well, I don't eat the fish, but they have like a feast of like the 7 fishes.
I don't know the significance of that.
I don't really
I don't either, but I've heard of it.
I just know that we have it every
Is that a
every
Christmas
year.
thing?
Is that why the fish are on the cars? The Jesus fish?
I think so.
Oh.
Well, I just the 7 fish is like isn't like an Italian like Roman Catholic, I think.
Okay.
Tradition.
I think that's an Italian thing.
Again,
yeah.
my mom made me get confirmed when I was in high school, but like
Me too,
because she wanted me to get married in a church, and like fast forward, I'm a fucking lesbian. I'm definitely not going to get married in a church. I don't know if that would go over very well. It might. I'm sure there are accepting churches out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will not be getting married in a church.
I don't think I will be.
I think I'd
It's a
love to
zombie
Vegas.
apocalypse, so
Yeah,
who's
so-
really gonna have time?
Yeah.
Who's getting married?
You
Who's
gotta
doing
deal
it?
with the flowers.
Yeah.
What's gonna go better with
It's
the,
really
the zombies?
expensive, you know.
Yeah,
Seems
and
like a
like then you have to
hassle, a lot
post
of
on
logistics.
Facebook. Oof.
Oh, you know how we feel about Facebook here on 20 Watt
Do
Podcast.
you like Facebook? How do you
No, I
feel?
don't think I've liked Facebook since 2011.
Yeah,
No.
I got in trouble off of Facebook,
What?
and the cops came to my house.
What?
Should I tell that story?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I was like in middle school.
Wait, what?
Okay, I was in middle school.
I find out new things about Kayla every week.
So when I was in middle school, like the trend and like I know this was wrong, but I was in middle school, so I didn't know at the time. So
Were you in middle school?
I was in middle school. I want to make that very clear. This is not who I was. But there is like this trend of saying the word snuff, and we're like, oh, like I'm gonna snuff you, like just kidding
Okay.
around. And I didn't really know what snuffing someone meant at the time.
Children are so terrible.
I know. So
just weird.
we were.
Yeah, I guess.
There was
so.
like this Facebook post, and we were talking about like snuffing like each other or whatever. And these two girls that we went to school with thought it was about them, and it wasn't. We were just talking to each other, and they told their mom, and then their mom called the police, and the police saw it, and they're like, "Oh, these people snuff. If you don't know, snuff means you're gonna like murder someone." Yeah,
Kayla.
I didn't know that at the time, but so yeah, so
Well, good thing Melania Trump dedicated her whole thing to cyberbullying.
Yeah. Well, we weren't cyberbullying anyone. We were
No, you
just
weren't.
talking, and like these girls thought it was about them, and it wasn't. And then
That's
so they told the
crazy.
police, and the police like came to my house and like knocked on my door, and I was at hockey practice. I'm like, "Where's
Sorry,
Kayla?"
you did hockey?
Yeah.
It's the gayest shit I've ever heard you
And
say.
I played softball too.
Oh my
But,
god.
But anyways, so I was at hockey. I came back, and my dad had to take me to the police station after hockey practice, and they interviewed me. They're like, "Do you know what this means?" And I'm like, "No." And like the police officer explained to me what snuff meant. And yeah, my parents
Wow.
weren't very happy with me, so I learned my lesson.
Oh my-
I don't know how that.
But you didn't even say you were gonna snuff them specifically.
No, we were just saying the word snuff. Like we were just saying like, "I'm gonna
Who
snuff
was it,
you."
Nicole?
No, I didn't know Nicole.
oh, okay.
It was like these two girls. You don't know
Oy.
them. That's my story.
Oh my
I
god.
don't know.
Things that police find important.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They just spent that much time.
I was 12.
I guess do your due diligence, but like, do you feel good about that?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you
You
protected the
you brought in a
community?
12-year-old to the police station. Anyways, I don't know how that came
I
up.
mean, the shit that they come up with to fill their days.
I think that we actually probably should just about wrap it up, but I would like for Kayla to tell me about your business.
Tell us about
Oh.
everything.
I feel like I have told you about everything. But yeah, the vegan zine is one thing I haven't mentioned, and definitely, yeah, check that out. It's theveganzine.com. It's spelled Zine, like a magazine. I have to explain that to a bunch of people, and I don't feel great about that. I thought it was a lot more well known.
Yeah, I don't see how that would be hard to understand.
Yeah,
really
Zine
not.
is like an underground independent publication.
Yeah.
But anyways, at the vegan zine _ on Instagram, and we help local New Englanders find local vegan connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a good follow on Instagram. I always learn all these things. I saw your post about Harry Styles.
Yeah, people really cared about Harry Styles coming to life alive in Boston.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Really?
Harry.
Yeah. I'm going to give Erica all the credit to that one.
He was in Harvard Square when I was working in Harvard Square, and one of our
Wow.
customers came in, and he was like, he's in Harvard Square. So I messaged him on my restaurant's Instagram, and I said, hey, Harry, come on by. And he never fucking answered me.
Yeah, I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I was
I mean, like, no shame to you.
yeah, I was like, he didn't answer me. But that was funny. I saw that.
But he was here.
He
You
was.
tried.
He
You
played
tried.
last night.
You shot your shot.
I shot my shot. So
as
it's fine.
the children say.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
You were
you.
literally where your first stop today, right?
Yeah, I literally just got back to Boston and I showered. You're welcome. And I came here. Yeah, and also you can follow me at the most Jewish handle I'm glad to grace this earth, which is Oive It's K.
I love
it.
the new handle.
Thank you.
And for when I first saw Veggie Kayla was gone, I was like, Veggie Kayla's gone. But then I saw your Instagram handle, I was like, okay, this works.
It was impulsive. It was impulsive, and I'm still not used to saying it because my handle for like 4 years.
Yeah.
But Oive It's K feels
I like it.
like I'm too stubborn to change it back, and
Yeah.
shouldn't have built an entire website out of Veggie Kayla.
You know, it happens.
Originally.
It happens.
Anyways,
We love it.
The vegan zine at Oive It's K. But I really appreciate this, and thank you for all the compliments.
Yes.
And the
course.
food,
You're
and the
welcome.
good drinks.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
You certainly know how to have a Jewish guest on.
Honestly, Kayla is just a great host, and I'm
She is.
here to be her Vanna White.
But happy Hanukkah, an early Hanukkah, and the impending holidays.
Yay.
Yeah, thank
Yay.
you.
Thank you.
And thanks for listening, guys, and we will
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.